When I first started homeschooling, high school and the thought of high school was really intimidating, and it kind of scared me a little bit, but it was one of those things I put in the back of my mind because my kids were still young. I had one in kindergarten and one, that had just finished third grade, and I was like, yeah, that's a long way away. I'm not going to think about it too much yet, and I'll figure it out as I go along. Well, that time came much more quickly than I had anticipated. But I'm here to tell you that a lot of the things that I initially thought about homeschooling high school were completely wrong, and I should not have been nearly as scared as I actually was. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I initially thought and what those things actually were in reality. If I could go back and tell myself a few things, here is exactly what I would tell myself. First, everything gets more independent. It doesn't get more difficult. That sounds kind of weird, but just stick with me for a second. I didn't have to micromanage every single subject anymore. I didn't have to teach it anymore. It's not like teaching a first grader or a second grader anymore. A lot of the things, it's like, okay, here's your assignment. You're going to be reading this, such and such chapter. You're going to be answering these questions. And then when you're done, I'm going to go over it with you and we're going to check your answers. That's what a lot of high school is. And a lot of you who are public schooled like me, that's exactly what public school high school is like too. Now, does that mean that every single curriculum is like that? No. A lot of times if we're using like Charlotte Mason curriculum, there might be narrations or it's going to be a little bit different, but a lot of it is the same. There's a lot of crossover here. Even if it's, hey, you need to watch this video lecture and then do this assignment, it's pretty much the same across the board. And the kids are old enough at that point to kind of take hold and take, initiative and responsibility for their own assignments and get them done. So things like teaching textbooks, completely independent. I'm totally hands off. It auto grades. And then I just kind of check and make sure that he did it. It's like super simple for me. You're more of a guide and not the primary instructor anymore. Next, don't fear transcripts. Even I kind of freaked out over transcripts. I know transcripts can be really scary. I was in the same boat. A lot of people are going to realize that your kid is homeschooled. It's okay. Homeschooling and going to college is not hard anymore. My kid just went through the whole thing and I'm getting ready to do it again with the second one. It's not a big deal. You do not need an elaborate transcript. And actually, if you just Google your state high school transcript PDF, you can have a whole template made out for you and all you have to do is fill it in. It is super simple. It is not hard anymore. Remember that transcripts are just grades and records. That's it. As long as you have a record of your grades and you keep up with it each year, it's not going to overwhelm you or scare you. Just keep it in a saved file on your computer and update it as necessary. It's really not difficult. Start SAT prep sooner than you think. That really was something that helped my youngest a lot. We started his SAT prep pretty early on because we knew he was going to need test scores for the path that he has chosen for the program that he wants to get into. And it has helped him immensely to start prepping pretty early on. And he is a little whiz at it now. And you can even take PSATs, like the practice SATs, online for free now as much as you want. And I love that new feature. All you have to do is go onto the website, just Google it. I think it's College Board, and you can take the PSAT for free now, and they have multiple ones that you can go and take. I love this feature, and it really helps your kids build confidence for the real SAT when they have to go take it. The real SAT is still proctored and you have to pay, and you have to actually like go to the testing facility and take it with a proctor there. But you can really prep your kids well at home now. High school is going to strengthen your relationship with your kids. I love this stage because they can talk about difficult, harder, more complex type of issues, and the material is so much more interesting a lot of times than, elementary type of books. You're going to have great conversations. You are going to really have some cool family discussions, and that has been one of my favorite parts of high school, is the great conversations that we have had around the dinner table, around the living room, just sitting on the couch with our books. And we have learned a lot together about all kinds of different topics as a family. High school is where homeschooling really shines because you are learning more complex things and it's more stimulating to you as an adult. But we also have better living books, and we have really cool narrations, and we have like a little book club with our living books together, which is really neat. The documentaries are things that like even I really enjoy watching. There's great ones on Answers in Genesis, by the way. And you're really going to make lasting memories together through this period. It's only 4 years, and just remember it goes by really fast, especially because they're older. And it just seems like time speeds up as your kids get into the teen years. So one of the memories that I really hold on to is just the really great conversations and things that we have had, surrounding their books. You do not have to recreate public school, high school. That's one of the best things about this. I love it because I don't have to recreate the same style, and I have so many more options when it comes to different classes. Places like Compass Classroom Online, they have some fantastic courses for high schoolers. It's all Christian, biblical based, and they have a great library of different courses that your kids can take. Campfire Curriculums, also another great one that has some really cool options for your high schooler, especially if they have a certain career in mind or they want to learn things a little bit differently. Campfire Curriculums is the ticket for you. You can use them as electives, or you can even use them as your main spine. It's really neat. Your days can look shorter than the public school down the street, and for many days for us, it is. You're going to have a lot more independent work. You're going to have a lot of reading and discussions and projects and flexibility. It is not public school at home. It is homeschool. You're not going to be a teacher, really. You're going to be more of a mentor. And I don't want to say a manager, but sometimes it does feel like that because you're picking the classes and, you're kind of overseeing everything, but it's kind of like a teamwork thing too, because you are working with your child to pick out the courses, but you are also involved in a lot of the meaningful parts of this period of their lives. So it is a really sweet time, and it is a really great time to be involved with a lot of the things that are going to come up in their books. A lot of things are going to come up in their lives, especially if they're starting their first jobs, and there's all kinds of things going on in a teenager's life, and the role that you have as a homeschool parent is going to change and shift a bit, but in a good way. So if you're nervous about homeschooling through high school, I totally understand, because I was a little scared, but I still did it anyway. I knew that the last thing I wanted to do was put them in public school just so they could have a transcript when I can make one online and on a PDF. I already graduated one child, and he has gone into college with ease. We had no problems getting him into our local college at all whatsoever. It was a breeze of a time, and it's more acceptable now. It's one of those things that it has become more normalized now. There's a lot of homeschoolers out there, and a lot of colleges really like homeschoolers. So I have found that out firsthand, which is really neat. And some of the kids in his class were also homeschoolers. There was a lot more than I realized, just kind of going through this with my oldest child. High school has been one of the most rewarding seasons with my kids. So if you are nervous about it, I understand, but take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. You can still do this even if you're scared. So don't let fear steal what might be the best season of your life with your kids. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy homeschooling.